Hello my dears, welcome warmly to my channel and my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a viral recipe for homemade doner kebab, almost just like the ones from kebab shops. Simple, easy to make, and incredibly delicious. I hope you'll enjoy this recipe, and now I invite you to watch the video. Making kebab. I start by grinding the onion. Here I have 1 large onion, and to the onion I'll add 4 cloves of garlic and blend everything into a paste. I've seen in some recipes that people simply chop the onion finely. If you've ever eaten kebab, you surely know that you can't feel pieces of onion in the meat. Only the flavor is noticeable, so the onion should be ground in a food processor into a literal paste. The same goes for the garlic. You can add a little bit of water to the onion and garlic. This is to make it easier to grind them. And my onion garlic paste is ready. Here in the bowl I have 1 kilogram of ground beef. I usually make these kebabs with lamb meat. And even then, I don't get close to the original. If you have access to lamb meat, you can use only that or mix it half and half with beef. If you can't find any fresh cuts of lamb, high quality beef will serve as an excellent substitute for this recipe. Just one note, when it comes to beef, it should be on the fattier side. Ideally, it should have 18 to 20% fat content. Here, I have beef with a fat content of 18%. Now I'm adding ground onions and garlic to my meat mixture. Now for the next step, in a separate glass, I'll add 1/4 cup of creamy plain Greek yogurt. My glass has a capacity of 225 milliliters. To the yogurt, I'll add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And mix them together well. This way, it will be easier to evenly distribute both ingredients in the meat. To the yogurt and tomato paste, I add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And mix everything together thoroughly. Next, I add it to my meat. Then I generously season the meat. Of course, I always season the beef with plenty of salt. Salt to taste. I also add pepper also to taste. I add 2 teaspoons of cumin. Of course, you can season the meat as you like, according to your own preference with your favorite spices. You can absolutely replace the ones I'm using here, for example, with gyro seasoning. I add about 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika, half a teaspoon of powdered chili or cayenne pepper. Add exactly 2 full teaspoons of ground oregano, followed by another 1½ teaspoons of smoked paprika. The whole mixture. I mix it all very well, preferably by hand, with a thoroughly washed hand. I knead the meat until all the ingredients are combined. They blend together evenly. and continue until the meat becomes quite sticky, thoroughly. Those who make sausages at home will know what I mean. Let me tell you, it really smells wonderful, even at this stage. Okay, my meat is definitely changing its texture now. It's become much stickier. It has completely lost the appearance of standard freshly ground meat. It is now much more like a smooth paste, forming one single and cohesive mass, which is exactly what we are looking for, okay? It's absolutely perfect, as you can see right here. It is beginning to become quite tacky and stick to your hands. And at this specific point in the process, I know for certain that the meat has been very well kneaded and is ready. Now you can put this meat in the fridge overnight so it marinates well. However, remember that before baking the meat, it's a good idea to take it out of the fridge 20 minutes beforehand, so that the meat can slightly increase its temperature. I'm going to put my meat in the fridge for 2 hours to marinate. The next thing we're going to need is some non-stick baking paper. We will bake our delicious kebab at 200 degrees Celsius, which is about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I just want to take a quick moment to make a note, because I really want to point out that not all baking paper is created the same. On a roll of high-quality baking paper, it should clearly state exactly up to what maximum temperature you can safely use it in your oven. I don't know if you can see it, but on mine it says it can be used up to 220 degrees Celsius. So before you use your baking paper, first check whether the manufacturer has specified the temperature at which you can bake with it. If you bake with the paper at a temperature higher than what the manufacturer recommends, you risk first of all that, and secondly that something may be released. Harmful substances can be released from it, so if you buy baking paper, pay attention to whether there is any mention of the maximum temperature you can use it at, and do not exceed that maximum temperature. When baking your delicious treats, for example, mine is safe to use at temperatures up to 200 degrees Celsius. So I am confident that I can use it. Okay, my meat has marinated beautifully now. I took it out of the fridge 20 minutes ago. Now I will divide the meat into several pieces. Into pieces of a size that will be convenient for you for baking and rolling. I will divide it into 7 pieces. I arrange them on the kitchen countertop. I lay out a sheet of baking paper and place a portion of the meat on it. Next, I cover my meat with another sheet of baking paper. I press down lightly so that the meat flattens a bit here, so it gets a little flattened. And then I roll out the meat with a rolling pin into a fairly thin sheet. If you use fattier meat, it will be much easier for you to roll it out as well. Okay, next. I peel off the top layer of baking paper, leaving the one with the meat on it. I roll it up into a kind of roulade. Which I then carefully arrange each piece on a baking tray. I continue to repeat this exact process with the rest of the meat until all of it is ready. Right now, I've only prepared 3 such strips. For now, this amount is enough for me. I've put the rest in the fridge. If you want to use the remaining meat later, you can absolutely freeze it. I'm putting my meat in the oven now. I'm preheating it to 200 degrees Celsius and I'll bake the meat for 20 to 25 minutes. In the meantime, while the meat is baking, I'll make a garlic sauce. I add 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise to a bowl, 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, and 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice into the bowl. I'll also grate 3 cloves of garlic. I'll add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, a pinch of oregano. I'll also add a little bit of sumac, literally just a pinch on the tip of a teaspoon. If you don't have sumac, just skip it. You can also add za'atar spice if you have it. And of course mix everything together very well. And now I'll put the prepared sauce into the fridge, where it will wait until the dish is finally ready to be served. I've just taken the meat out of the oven. Since it is extremely hot right now, you really need to be very careful as you slowly unwrap the baking paper from the tray. It has browned beautifully. If you want the meat to be more browned, you can absolutely put it back in the oven. However, I don't recommend doing that because the meat will simply become dry. But of course that's entirely up to your own preferences. I'll leave the meat like this for 5 minutes on the tray. And then I'll cut it into strips. Right here, where the meat has browned. It's really dry. So I really don't recommend putting this meat back in the oven. If you truly want perfectly delicious and incredibly juicy meat, in my oven the meat baked for 20 minutes. I suggest checking while baking because, as you know, every oven bakes differently. And we don't want this juicy meat to dry out on us. You can simply use a fork like this to completely shred it into tiny little pieces. That way it will look more authentic. I'm going to serve my kebab in pita bread. You can simply put it inside the container or simply cut it open. And of course, I will now pour my delicious homemade garlic sauce all over the freshly toasted bread. You can most certainly use a hot chili sauce as well, if you happen to like your kebab extra spicy. I'll add some fresh lettuce to the mix. Cucumbers. Tomatoes. Feel free to add whatever delicious toppings you personally like, because they'll go perfectly with this dish. For example, pickled red cabbage. Unfortunately, I don't happen to have any in my kitchen today, and some thinly sliced red onion would be great choices. And of course the meat goes on top. Right at the very top. I'll drizzle some more garlic sauce over it. And that's how my delicious homemade kebab looks. Doner? This is a fresh piece of pita bread. You can absolutely fold it over or roll it up however you like. You can also choose to serve the kebab rolled up tightly in a wrap. But for now, I'm showing you the kebab in an open version, so you can clearly see exactly what it looks like inside. A delicious, simple homemade version of kebab, just like from a real Turkish kebab shop. I really, truly recommend you try it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you made it at home. Sending you my warmest regards. Thank you for all the likes, subscriptions and comments, and see you in the next video. For now, bye.